Hello, welcome to the forge. This is one of my first videos here I'm going to post. And actually, I think I'm going to go through my forge so you guys can see what I got set up. And most of my stuff is homemade and kind of put together, but for what I do, it works out pretty good. Here's the monster forge. I got stuff I got set up. A couple of different things I got done today. A skinning knife that I did just out of 5160, and then I did this is just Sanmai 5160 with just some mild steel on the outside. Just pulled that one out of the coffee today. And this is my press. I took a 5-ton log splitter and converted it into a little press. My homemade forge, I got a dual burner forced air. It cooks pretty good. And then some other tools, a basic little welder, grinders. Most of the tools I found that you can make anything work, but this guy right here is what makes everything a lot easier for a novice bladesmith. It makes things go much faster. And a drill press. And I got my ferric chloride for soaking some different things, and then my quench tank, I just used an old fire extinguisher that I got canola oil in. Then I got a acetylene torch. I got another arc welder here elsewhere, but this is one project that I got done today, where I'm working on as of now. Hopefully this shows up good. So this is wrought iron that I have etching right now on the ferric. It is Sanmai. I got 2 layers on the outside of the wrought iron and over just a file that I had. Basically, I got this wrought iron here, and I cut a couple 3-inch pieces out. I forged welded those together here, made a billet out of that, and I ended up just using this section because this end opened up, and so did this one, but the center was solid, so I cut that out, and then I had an old file. I cut that off, and then use that as my hard steel in the middle. So then I just got the handle to put on that once it's done etching. Another little project that I was doing today, I was making a couple crosses. So this is one that I did today. And actually I was going to go through on how to make one of these and how to open them up just out of a railroad spike. Alright, so to make our little cross here, I have done it before where I simply heat it up in the forge and use a hammer and chisel and knock it all apart. I found it saves a ton of time just to make a few cuts in it to start. So I just mark the top. I'm going to end up cutting that off. And I'm going to cut about halfway down on each side. I want to make a cut. Actually, bottom, cut across here, and up, and then intersect just slightly here at the top. Because on these, I didn't do a full overlap on these, so if you overlap them, you can open up a hole right here. So that's what we'll do on this one. We'll get this overlap to go a little bit more, so we get that hole in the middle. So I'm going to make these cuts with my grinder. Just got a 90-degree little 1/8-inch DL cutting wheel on my grinder. Then I'll cut those, and then we'll fire up the forge. Alright, so what I did was I just scored on the front facing view. I cut the tip off. If you wanted to, you could heat it up in the forge and knock that out, but I just cut it off for here. And then I made one cut there, one cut there, basically a guide for my chisel when we start to cut this open. And then on the adjacent side towards the bottom, I got a cut there, and cut there for a groove, and then right there. So then what we'll do is we'll heat up the forge and throw this in, get it nice and hot, and then we'll take the hammer and chisel and cut this all the way through, fold the top down, and then cut all the way through here and here, across the front, and then we'll flip that open and should get across. So we'll get the forge fired up here. Before I got the dual burners, I just use a hair dryer for my forced air. And inside, put a block, just one block off. I got a bunch of buildup around my block. I was doing a couple same lightweight, so to keep things clean, I just put that in there so it gets a little hotter. So I'll throw the railroad spike in and get it heated up. I got about nearly all the way through with the top groove or top cut. We'll open it up, we'll stick it right back in, let it get warm again. What I usually do is use my wider chisel so I can just get a clean line all the way across. Then I'll use a smaller chisel because it cuts through a little bit quicker, and be able then to actually cut through it all. After 3 heats, I was able to get the top completely cut, opened up. I'll put it the opposite direction into the forge, and I'll cut through the bottom half of the railroad spike now. We got 3 heats, top's already open. I just cut, you see that they cut just in, so they overpass each side, each cut overlaps one from the adjacent side, just by about 3/16 to a quarter inch. We got 3 heats, that was open, able to cut all the way through. Then right around that bottom seam on the front, get that opened up. Now that we got it, all the chiseling done, I'm going to butterfly open the top and get this bottom flipped up over, and then we'll have a cross. What I got going on down here is I just got a pail of water, pull the chisel points down after using them on the, they seem to hold up a little bit better, then they don't get bent or folding over on you. That happens sometimes. Now I got the top open up, spread off. Now look, where I made the other cut down here, we'll grab this and we'll rotate that open. We'll get it a little hotter. Moves a little easier. it'll end up breaking on you. One more heat and I should be able to have it all open back up. There it is. One little deal. Now what I'll do is I'm going to heat the bottom and kind of flatten that out. Then roll this side out, this side out. Like this one I did here. And I was able to, as you can see, if you can see that, just open the bottom up and then roll them around. Makes a little nicer stand for it. Heat that up a bit, get that head really hot so I can chisel through the very peak of it, open it up and flatten it out and then curl it around. So I kind of skipped a part. I got the notch cut in with the chisel. If I cut it down, I'm going to go a little bit more. Get that opened up. Up a little bit, it'll be able to stand. That's basically how you make a cross of a railroad spike. I'll bring you back to check on my wrought iron inside the ferret catch here in a little bit. I decided to do a couple more things to the cross. What I did is the actual base that we had, I decided to go ahead and heat it up and just cut that off. And so the cross part, the T portion, to get that to be more or less symmetrical, just gotta cut a little bit off each side. I already cut that one. There's our little split cross. We got the little diamond in the middle. Drop it on the floor a couple times. And pretty cool. Fun little project to do while in the forge. Double check on our. We had this wrought iron. Nice sitting in my ferret catcher for a while. We'll go ahead and pull that out. And it's out pretty good. I'll clean this up and give you guys a better shot of what it turns out, what it actually looks like.